First down at the 46-yard line for Jim Plunkett. Intended for Malcolm Barnwell as we get underway in the fourth quarter. And that is the streak that was ended by the fumble by John Riggins. 685 consecutive offensive plays. Incredible string.
He's a very strong individual, and to get the ball away from him, you have to surprise him, and that's what Townsend did when he created the fumble. And you know, some guys when they fumble don't recover their own. John Riggins has fumbled a few times, but he's always so quick to get on anything that happens that he's always come up with it. So that was a rare one.
Second down 10. Hawkins. Frank Hawkins ripping off the first down into Washington territory at the 40-yard line. Hawkins with a 16-yard pickup, and he's had a good second half. 64 yards now, 12 carries for Frank Hawkins. The intended receiver was Barnwell. Flagged down. It was covered by Green.
Okay, I guess you have to take what they call, but, you know, they say incidental contact is no foul, right? I cannot see where Darrell Green was doing anything other than trying to get a hand on the ball, and I don't know whether he went through Malcolm Barnwell or not, but that looked like incidental contact to me, and I'm sure the people at home feel the same way.
But on the interference call, it's a first down for the Raiders.
Marv, how long has it been since we've seen a game where both sides are trying to throw outside to their cornerbacks? It's because not too many teams play you man-to-man defense all over the field.
And Plunkett in trouble, gets it off to King. Nice move by King after the reception. Kenny King in his 5th season out of Oklahoma. He made the Pro Bowl back in 1981. But the addition of Marcus Allen to the Raider roster made for a move to the fullback slot.
He made the Pro Bowl coming from a team. He came from Houston originally, where he was a 3rd draft choice, and he hadn't really been given a chance to play. He went to the Raiders. They've used him extensively since, and he's been a fine back for him.
Second down and 1. Frank Hawkins looking for the first down. That's an impressive streak for a linebacker. Ted Hendricks, as we mentioned earlier, has the longest such streak for consecutive games among active players in the NFL. Hawkins peeling off. This is Pruitt throwing. So Greg Pruitt on the option, trying to hit the tight end, Todd Christensen. Jordan and Murphy on the coverage.
Good alert defensive secondary play. Now, not too many people generally expect Greg Pruitt to make a kind of throw like this, as we see Todd Christensen going down the field. Curtis Jordan is all over Christensen. The other 2 defensive secondary people are all over him also. Kaufman making the force 55 on Pruitt, but you can see that ball was not going to be completed.
2.5 minutes gone by. We're fourth quarter. Sellout crowd in Washington. And the Raiders 2nd and 10 at the 15. Plunkett drilling. Christensen inside the 5 for the first down. Curtis Jordan on the stop.
You just can't say too much about Jim Plunkett. He's hung in there in the throes of adversity, and now he seems to have turned this thing around on his arm. Their defense has hung in there, and now he's right down on the 2-yard line, threatening to go up by more than a touchdown. And I mean, it's not an easy thing away from home to play that way when your 2 stars are out of the ball game. He has been the sort of fellow that's let George do it all year long, and now he's doing it himself.
12-yard pass play, 1st and goal at the 2. Pruitt in motion. And it's a touchdown for the Raiders. Todd Christensen with the score. He was hit out of the end zone, but the Raiders on the board again.
You can bet that Joe Theismann will be throwing that ball from corner to corner as soon as they get it back. But it's the comeback of Jim Plunkett and the Raider offense that really sticks in your mind now.
And Chris Barr adds to the lead. So Christensen with his 4th catch of the day, 61 yards in all, his first touchdown to give the Raiders a 28-20 lead. 11 minutes, 50 seconds left, 4th quarter. 3rd down and inches. 9.5 left, 4th quarter. Ricketts, first down and more. Ted Hendricks on the tackle.
You take a look at the Hogs. They can move people out in short yardage situations. John Riggins is not contacted until he moves 4 or 5 yards down the field, and then by Ted Hendricks.
And John picked up 6. Jacoby, Grimm, Bostic, May, and Stark up front. That's Monk in motion. Riggins. And Rod Martin able to stack him up. 91 yards, 26 carries for Riggins. 2nd down, 6. Nearly picked off. Lester Hayes had a shot, and that was thrown way off the mark. The intended receiver, I presume, was Art Monk.
Well, it looks like it was thrown off the mark, Marv. But if you take a look at Art Monk, when that ball was thrown and he made his turn, he looked back into the quarterback's area and didn't see that Theismann had already thrown it, and Theismann intended for him to keep going across the field. Now Joe's got another one-on-one situation, hangs in there. Now you see Art kind of pulled up, and now he wonders, uh-oh, maybe I did the wrong thing, but he couldn't locate the ball.
Monk to the left and Garrett right for this 3rd down and 6. Penalty flag throw. Now Monk on the reception. And a 1st down if it stands up. Out near the 25-yard line, James Davis hauling Monk down. But let's see what the call is all about.
Most frustrating thing in the world for a quarterback and an offensive team that knows it has to get on that scoreboard to get called for offensive holding after you've made a big play on a 3rd down situation.
And here's Pat Haggerty as he brings it back.
Number 53, offense.
It's the center, Jeff Bostic. 4-year man out of Clemson called for the hold. And it's now a 3rd down and 16 back at the 43. Virgil C. top of your picture. And Alvin Garrett on the other side. Alzado and Townsend chase. And broken up. Let's see, did the linebacker come up with it? Mike Davis broke it up. No, it is incomplete.
I saw the official rule very quickly, so he saw the play the whole way. Rod Martin might have a few things to say. Made a good try, but Jim Poole, the official, was in a perfect place to make the call. Theismann coming out of the pocket, trying to buy a little time. Greg Townsend is right on his heels, though.
And this is Jeff Hayes getting set to punt for the 7th time. Greg Pruitt back at his 16-yard line. Jim Plunkett and Calvin Muhammad hooking up for 2 touchdowns. And that's been the story in the 2nd half. Pruitt unleashing. That's the punter, Hayes, missing. And here's Pruitt, who could go west all the way. Greg Pruitt doing something that is rarely done against the Redskins special team, and that is he has scored a touchdown.
He saw enough territory to give himself a little free running room, elected to catch the ball, and boy, when he made that break right in there, he made a break against the best special teams play in the game. He gets around Jeff Hayes, and from there on in, it's nothing but a cakewalk. Talk about a drastic turnaround.
It is being recorded as a 97-yard punt return. And the Raiders have broken it open. Chris Farr looking to make it 35-10, and does. And again, silence from 55,000 here at RFK. The Los Angeles Raiders leading the Washington Redskins by 15. First down, 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. And that's Garrett moving to the left. Theismann looking Garrett's way, now goes the other. Joe Washington. Washington to the 30. Washington unleashing. Lester Hayes pushed him out, and here are the Redskins, first down at the 21.
You don't make that kind of play unless your offense thinks you have a chance to win the ball game. He got great blocks from his wide receivers, 2 of them that time. Theismann looks to the other side, waits for the last possible second, comes off. Good coordination with Bostic and May. They pick up their blocks at the point of attack. And here goes Joe, getting good help from Charlie Brown, number 87. When your wide receivers still think you have a chance, they're going to help your running backs. You get plays like this, and you can get yourself back in it.
Joe Washington going 67 yards before that man, Lester Hayes, pushed him out. In his 8th season out of Oklahoma, 2 years with San Diego, 3 with Baltimore, and now a Redskin. First down at the 21 of the Raiders. Play action. Theismann off the roll and batted down. Otis McKinney got a piece of it. Just under 7 minutes left, 4th quarter here. Marv Albert with John Brody. And what has turned into a big play duel between the Redskins and the Raiders. The tight end, Don Warren. Close to the first down. McKinney on the tackle. And the Redskins have picked up the first down. Clock running, 6.5 left, 4th quarter. Raiders with a second half surge, leading at 35-20. First down at the 11. That's Giaquinto in motion. Touchdown! So Theismann right back, combining with Charlie Brown, who did it in the face of James Davis. An 11-yard pass play, and now
we see Steve Ortmeyer sitting there discussing whether or not we run it back out of the end zone, and letting everybody know that this ball game is far from over. If it only takes you a minute to get the ball from your own 20-yard line all the way into the opponent's end zone, you've got 6 of those left. We've got some ball game left.
And Mark Mosley putting it through, following Charlie Brown's 4th touchdown of the season. There's the second-year man from South Carolina State. We have 6 minutes, 15 seconds left, 4th quarter. Raiders 35, Redskins 27.
Onside kick team.
And they have Greg Pruitt up as a short man. And let's see.
It looked to me like the Redskins got it.
Yes, they did. Pruitt tried to chase it down, could not get near it, and the Redskins have recovered. And Greg Williams not looking to give up that football that he came up with.
They're going to let him keep this one because an excellent onside kick by Jeff Hayes. He bats the ball as hard as he can right at the front man. When it hit him, it caroomed into no area at all. And Calvin Sweeney could not come up with the ball. Number 47, second-year man, Greg Williams comes up with it. The Redskins have it in Raider territory, 1st and 10 on the 32.
And the crowd quiets for Theismann. That's Monk in motion. Don Warren Redskin first down. 24-yard gain. Warren with 4 catches, 84 yards. First down at the 13. And broken up. Otis McKinney on the coverage of Don Warren. That's McKinney in his 6th season out of Colorado.
And as you see, you saw the face of McKinney. You saw he's a little tired. And when you play defense, as long as these guys have had to play it in the last 10 minutes, you get a little tired. And offensively, you get a little enthused. And it makes it an awful lot easier to operate. He's puffing. You try to cover somebody one-on-one all over the field, you know the importance of letting somebody get by you. That adds to the fatigue.
Raiders coming back second half. Now the Redskins on the move. Big rush. And Theismann pulled down by Long. Howie Long with a significant sack with 5 minutes, 8 seconds left, 4th quarter.
Came from the outside on the right. And this is one thing that I'm sure Joe would like to have another attempt to try and handle, because he knows you can't get caught at this time in the ball game. Time is one thing. They're under 5 minutes on the clock, but field position is everything.
That's the 4th sack for the Raiders. The Washington offensive line had not allowed a sack the previous 2 games. 3rd down and 28. Back at the 31. Washington. Joe Washington on the pickup, but way short.
Well, we've got a 4th down play. You say, okay, it's the coach's turn. Do you want to try and get something now, knowing your team needs another possession and a touchdown? That's what Joe Gibbs is going to do. This is not the time to try a fake field goal. The Raiders will not try and block this field goal.
34-yard attempt. And it is good. Four minutes, 28 seconds remaining. 4th quarter. Raiders 35, Redskins 30. Plunkett and Calvin Muhammad bringing the Raiders from behind. And let's see what he does here. 1st and 10 at the 16. And the swarming defense of the Redskins all over Frank Hawkins. Darrell Grant leading the charge. 2nd down and about 8. He picked up 2.
Still playing man-to-man defense secondarily on the corners.
And again to the ground. And again, the Skins hold. Hawkins stopped by Murphy. And it's a loss of 3. 3rd down, 11. Todd Christensen short of the 1st down. Try to get up and run. I believe he was ruled down. Ken Coffey covering.
This is what Todd thought he'd done. He thought he caught it and got off of the ground fast enough before he was touched. It was not ruled that way. They are short of the 1st down, and they'll have to punt.
Marv Albert with John Brody. RFK Stadium in Washington. And the Raiders leading the Redskins 35-30. Ray Guy getting set to punt to Mike Nelms with 2 minutes left, 4th quarter.
And Marv, you know, I've heard crowds like this, but it's been in 120 and 30,000 seat stadiums. Wembley stands up and sounds like this. But this place, you can hardly hear yourself think.
And this is Nelms with terrific coverage by McKinney. Otis McKinney was right there. A 46-yard punt by Guy, but very little advance. All right, Theismann going sideline. And we'll have to wait and see where they spot it. Charlie Brown on the reception again. And for Brown, his 9th catch of the day. It is just short of the first down. 1:27 remaining, fourth quarter. Raiders lead it 35-30. And again, Theismann completes to Brown.
Marv, let's remember, there is 1:08 remaining. The Skins have 2 timeouts left. They cannot kick a field goal. They are 5 points behind. They have got to score a touchdown.
And a timeout has been called.
That gives them 1.
Right, Redskins down to 1. Raiders have 3. When we resume, it'll be Washington operating from the Los Angeles 34-yard line. First down at the 34 with 1:08 remaining. First down play for Theismann. He has Brown. Charlie Brown at the 6, brought down by Kenny Hill. And the clock is running. We're down to 50 seconds remaining. Theismann.
He doesn't want to take a timeout. He's called another play in the huddle. He can catch the defense napping. He's going to force the Raiders to call timeout. Good play.
He was trying, as you say, to catch the defense. Not only not ready, but also upset about that last play.
Well, no. What he'd like to do is he wants to get the time, but he doesn't want to call his last time. So he gets on the ball quickly. He has his offense line up. It forces the Raiders, who are not ready to play right yet, to call one of their own. That's just heads-up football.
The Washington Redskins at one point led 20-7. Raiders came from behind. At one point, they led 35-20.
And that was with 7.5 minutes left.
First and goal at the 6 as Brown goes to the left. Theismann looking end zone, overthrows Brown. He saw he was covered.
That's right.
James Davis and Kenny Hill all over Charlie Brown. Theismann is 22 for 38, 411 yards. Second and goal at the 6. Looking Washington. Touchdown! A human explosion here at RFKN.
Marv, you need to say so little in a ball game like this. Now, Theismann has just done about all a quarterback can be asked to do. He started out challenging the defense. This team has only given up 30 points defensively all year long. The Redskins have put 37 on the board. I'd say that's a pretty good day's work.
Joe Gibbs congratulating the Raider players. Marv Albert with John Brody from Washington. Again, the final. Redskins 37, Raiders 35.
Fantastic. Wasn't that fantastic? I think out of all the games that we've shown you, that has got to be the best. Absolutely marvelous. Well, now let's catch up with the rest of this week's results.
Houston Oilers 10, Pittsburgh Steelers 17. The young Oiler team suffered another loss as quarterback Cliff Stout hit Abercrombie in the fourth quarter for the game's winning touchdown. Tough times for a Houston team who have not won a game in over a year.
Baltimore Colts 34, Cincinnati Bengals 31. And after trailing 31-21 late in the third quarter, 2 field goals and a Curtis Dickey touchdown brought the Colts victory and shared first place in the AFC Eastern Division with Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers 14, Green Bay Packers 55, an NFL record for the Packers, who scored a staggering 49 points in the first half. Lynn Dickey's 3 touchdown passes brought his season total to a league-leading 12.
Seattle Seahawks 24, Cleveland Browns 9, and rookie Kurt Warner ran in 2 short touchdowns to give the Seahawks a 3rd victory and 2nd place behind the Raiders in the AFC Western Division.
Denver Broncos 14, Chicago Bears 31. Chicago's Willie Gault ran with another pair of touchdown receptions and staked further claim to the Rookie of the Year title as John Elway was again disappointing.
Dallas Cowboys 37, Minnesota Vikings 24. The Vikings held until the fourth quarter when the Cowboys' pressure finally told. They scored twice and are now the only unbeaten team in the NFL.
San Francisco 49ers 33, New England Patriots 13, and 2 touchdown passes from Joe Montana keep the 49ers on top of the NFC Western Division. But disappointment for British fans as kicker John Smith, our co-host on the Super Bowl, has been released by the Patriots.
San Diego Chargers 41, New York Giants 34. Chuck Munce's third touchdown with 4 minutes 32 seconds remaining lifted San Diego to victory over the Giants.
Philadelphia Eagles 28, Atlanta Falcons 24. Philadelphia's Jaworski ran for 1 touchdown and passed for 3 others. The third a 53-yard bomb to Mike Quick with 1 minute 45 seconds remaining.
Detroit Lions 10, LA Rams 21. It was Eric Dickerson's day as he rushed for 199 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading the Rams to their third victory.
Miami Dolphins 7, New Orleans Saints 17, and the Saints defense dominated mistake-prone Miami with Reggie Lewis returning an interception 27 yards as the Saints record their first ever win over Miami.
St. Louis Cardinals 14, Kansas City Chiefs 38. In a game with 15 turnovers, it was Charles Jackson who returned a fumble 37 yards for a touchdown to lead the Chiefs to victory.
New York Jets 34, Buffalo Bills 10. The Jets routed the Bills with dancing Mark Gastineau getting 4 sacks and a touchdown on a fumble recovery.
Well, you'll probably remember that last week, Mark Gastineau and his dance caused a little fracas on the field. Well, this week, he danced into the arms of the law when he caused another riot in the rarefied atmosphere of New York's chic night spot, Studio 54.
The trouble began around 2:30 a.m. on Friday after, now get this, the 269-pound Gastineau lost an arm wrestling contest with a 175-pound bartender. He then demands a rematch, and when the bartender refused, fists begin to fly. Studio 54 owner Bill Fleischman then intervenes and ends up in the hospital. Gastineau and rookie Ken O'Brien now have to face the judge on assault charges.
The continuing story of... You described Gastineau's play on the field last week as showboating, sort of showing off. Is this another example of that?
I don't think so, Nicky. This is a blow to his manhood. 175 pounds against 269 pounds, and you lose? Ooh. How about it now?
Not this week. This week. Well, I think after tonight's astonishing action, the last word should go to Joe Theismann. I hope you'll join us again next week.
Good night.
Good night.
We know how great an Oakland football team, or excuse me, a Raider football team we played today. I do it all the time, I'm sorry. But the fact of the matter is this football team just doesn't have a quit or a dying note in it, and all of us, all 45 men, try and make it happen.
I've seen all the frowns on the faces of the clowns and the downs that they take just to be free. And I've seen all the girls and their pretty frocks and curls, but they don't mean a lot to me. Run for home, run as fast as I can. Whoa, running man, running for home.